I want to go across now to Harsh Vardhan Shringla, former Foreign Secretary. He's been India's ambassador to the United States. Thank you very much, Mr. Shringla, for taking our time and joining me in this broadcast. This big meeting between President Trump and Prime Minister Modi takes place in a few hours from now. Last time was a very celebratory air. This time the air hangs thick with anticipation and uncertainty about the kind of tariffs that are coming our way. We've just heard from experts suggesting that India would be targeted in these reciprocal tariffs that President Trump plans to announce later in this afternoon. How are you seeing this build-up to the Modi-Trump bilateral?
Well, it's a very important visit from all perspectives, because if you consider the fact that Prime Minister Modi has been invited by President Trump to Washington, D.C. within 25 days of President Trump taking over, it shows the importance that both sides attach to that relationship. We all already know about that close connect that the two leaders had under Trump 1.0. I think the endeavor would be to see how that connect can be re-established between the two leaders, that they can plan how to take the next steps in our strong strategic partnership, and also to deal with some of the bilateral issues that are on the table. My own sense is that both President Trump and Prime Minister Modi are people who look at the larger picture. They have a vision, and that vision gives them a broad scope of things to do. But the minor details are not going to hold them down. So my sense is that issues such as trade, immigration, any of these issues that are on, could be construed as irritants, will be subsumed within the talks, and the two leaders will find a way to, deal with them as they move along on more important issues of global and regional significance, but also important issues on how to take the relationship forward. You mentioned trade and tariffs. I think there, of course, we have already made a few preemptive steps by essentially lowering tariffs in certain areas. I do believe there is scope to lower tariffs in other areas, and that could also be part of something that would be of the discussion, whether they're tariffs on agricultural items, whether they're tariffs on medical devices and equipment or chemicals. I think we have a certain game plan that we're going to DC with. Trump's tariffs are all encompassing. It's global, it's with partners, it's with friends, it's with everybody. And we are part of that mix. We are not different from that mix. And if you look at the fact that we are such a major trading partner of the US, the US is our largest trading partner. We are also one of their largest trading partners. I think it's obvious that we will come within the scope of some of these initiatives that he's taking, but we have to find a way out. And that way out, I think, is not only to act preemptively, but to also look at fast-tracking any, free trade agreement that could be in place. And of course, looking at how to use that trusted partnership to, make India a part of that supply chain to the United States and other partners.
The big international story of the day has been about President Trump speaking to President Vladimir Putin of Russia. They're talking about a potential ceasefire between Russia and Ukraine. How do you think that is likely to play out, and are we potentially heading towards a Trump-engineered ceasefire in that war between Russia and Ukraine, sir?
Well, when it comes to the Russia-Ukraine conflict, or any conflict for that matter, we have a certain convergence, because Prime Minister Modi has always maintained that the way to peace is through dialogue and diplomacy, that this is not an era of conflicts. And Trump is saying the same thing. He wants to bring an end to conflict. And so there is a strong convergence here. I think we have to build on that convergence. Clearly, Prime Minister Modi will talk to President Trump on how we can be supportive on these initiatives, whether it is to share our own experiences, the fact that we can talk to both parties, but also possibly in any post-conflict situation where India can be helpful. I think there's a lot of ways that India can be helpful, not only in the Ukraine-Russia conflict, but also in the Middle East process, where clearly post-conflict issues are going to be very, very important.
And there's also a meeting with Elon Musk. Musk has been on the fence when it comes to India, wanting to invest, talking about bringing Starlink in, talking about bringing Tesla in, announced that he'd come to meet Prime Minister Modi before general elections, cancelled that, went to China. Given the importance that he's playing as arguably the second most important man in the United States, more powerful, more important than the vice president, how do you see the significance of the Modi-Musk meeting?
I think Prime Minister Modi's meeting with Elon Musk is very, very important. Elon Musk has become a critical player in Trump 2.0, but he's also a major global sort of industrialist with cutting-edge technologies, which are very, very important for countries like ours. I think getting Musk to look at India as a base for co-production and manufacturing, a place from which he can access markets across Asia and the Indo-Pacific region. Also getting him, to share some of our own, areas of convergence with the US is very, very important. And Trump, and Musk obviously has great faith in Indian talent. The fact that, Indians have contributed so much to the American tech industry is something that, Musk is very much aware of. So we have to get all of this and put it to, in a constructive fashion, put it to good use. And I think Prime Minister Modi will do just that. I think his conversation with Musk will involve sort of getting Musk to invest in India, getting Musk to take a fresh look at various initiatives in India, and then basically welcoming him.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Harsh Shringla, for joining us on this broadcast, thank you very much.